Hi, welcome to Eclectibles. Today we have for you the brand new Lego Marvel Superheroes Guardians of the Galaxy Knowhere Escape Mission set for you. This set is, as it says, 433 pieces. Got some set pieces of vehicle and several minifigures and one large figure. As you can see, contains Groot, Rocket Raccoon, Nebula, and the what I'm assuming is going to be the bad guys in the film, along with Nebula, the Sakaran. So we will go ahead, open this up, kind of show you the layout of the bags. And while I do that, there's a shot of the back of the box. So luckily we have the numbered bags, number 2, and kind of an early shot of what Groot is going to look like. So a special piece for Groot, as you would assume would happen. A third bag, and looks like we actually have a mini comic, which is always very cool for the Legos. Booklet number 2, so we're going to have 2 separate instruction booklets. There's booklet number 1 and bag number 1, and a sticker sheet. So there are 3 separate bags. We will cut back as we show the build in progress, give a general overview of the vehicles, the set pieces, and the figures. Bag number 1 is finished. We'll start with this piece, which there's going to be, of course, more added onto it. This particular piece looks like it houses some energy balls or ammunition. There's a little launching piece here, so you can actually take that, place it in here, and launch. You'll probably see more in the upcoming bags that we will build off of that. But there were 2 figures in this particular bag, and I've placed Nebula on the stand so you could see her a little bit better. So Nebula there with 2 swords. Looks a little bit different than the Nebula that I grew up reading about in the Avengers and in the other comics, because the Nebula that I knew had hair. And it looks like in the case of the movie Guardians of the Galaxy, she is going to be bald and possibly have some cybernetics, if you can see that. Let me move her arm down here, around her skull. So kind of an interesting take on the Nebula figure. Probably the coolest figure that we have seen so far is Groot. Groot is one of the big figures in the Marvel Superheroes game, and it translates very well to the set. You can see he is very posable. Both arms and legs. Can't do anything with the head or the waist, but you can place him in all kinds of different positions. Bend him over, stand him up straighter, have him kneeling down. And of course the fingers, not the thumb, but the fingers are articulated, so he can actually grab something and hold on to it. One thing I do like about this particular figure is, of course, the torso is pre-painted, but I was very happy to see that the leg segments here are pre-painted and they are not stickers. I understand that the stickers have to happen, but I'm always happy when you have a pre-printed piece. So we will be back with bag number 2 very soon. Okay, everybody, bag 2 is complete. So we'll talk a little bit about the build thus far with the Guardians of the Galaxy set. We'll first look at this piece here. It appears to be some form of a portal or energy type hole, I guess is a good descriptor of it. And this actually will attach to a section that was from bag number 1. So it will just slide into place like this. And if the picture on the box is true to form, we'll actually be building off of this from bag number 3. So we'll actually get to see this in a more completed fashion a little bit later. Bag number 2 also contained this vehicle. It's a vehicle that's got some little articulated fingers or claws or grabbers, if you will, that can actually pick and hold items. There's a cockpit that raises where you can actually place a figure inside. I believe some of the literature and the box art shows Rocket Raccoon as being the occupant of this particular vehicle. On the back, and let me say that this had probably, for something this small, had a lot of stickers that had to be placed on it. Very much different than the Groot figure, who had the pre-painted decals, or not decals, but the pre-painted scheme. This had lots of little tiny decals that you had to place very carefully. Cool little feature here. This is going to make a mess, but you raise this door and Legos go a-flying. So we'll pick those up sometime, or either step on them and cry out in pain, and then we'll dig them out of the bottom of our feet, but we'll get those a little bit later. So that is the little vehicle. I'm sure in the film this is going to have a name, or at least be referenced, so I look forward to seeing that in action. So we're going to look next, and I built this little platform because my fingers would cover up the Rocket Raccoon figure. As you can see, he's the smaller minifigure type with the non-posable legs, but he's got a really cool head, and it's not the rubbery head, it's kind of the harder plastic head. There's a little bit of design on the front and on the back, and he has a tail, so his tail's in the up position, so I guess Rocket's having a pretty good day. As you can see in his hand, he has a silvery ball. So a lot of speculation with the Guardians of the Galaxy film is that it's going to address the Infinity Gems. Now, I don't know if this is a precursor and a little bit of a spoiler, but there might be a possibility that that ball that he holds might have some allusions to the Infinity Gems. Now, I don't know that any Infinity Gems are silvery, but this is the Marvel movie universe, so they might take a little bit of creative license. But you can see the Rocket figure is really cool. Now we're going to look next at probably the biggest weapon that I've seen in a Lego, or at least hand-carried weapon in a Lego build, and this is Rocket's rifle, gun, laser blaster. Comes complete with a scope on the top, with a maybe a view piece here, and actually when Rocket holds this, it will more or less go over his shoulder, and it's approximately as big as Rocket is. So that's a cool piece. So that was what was contained in bag 2. We will be back with bag 3, which will complete our build. And we are finished with bag number 3. As you can see, we've got the elements that we have built from bag number 3 laid out here. We will go through them item by item and talk about the features. First and foremost, we have a little mechanism here that kind of looks like a satellite dish, but I think it's actually something a little bit different. It's on a pivot mechanism, and this actually will activate the tower. So we're going to go over here, grab the base that we've built in bag number 1 and 2, and we are going to place that right here. So the tower is this piece. You can see it does have a posable ladder, and there's also a red piece here that activates a trap door. That trap door will be placed over the little energy portal here. So this will actually go in place right here, and by pressing this lever you will see the tower fall. Not shatter into a million pieces, but fall, and then you can pop it right back in place. So we have a minifigure that was also in this bag. This is the what I'm assuming is going to be the alien race in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Features a really neat looking laser gun blaster, which is kind of new to any of the Lego lines that I've seen. And I'm going to remove the helmet, and you will see that the facial features are, I don't know, maybe bug-like, spider-like in origin. So I'm kind of very curious where this is going to head in the movie. Okay. There was also a laser cannon, which features the new firing mechanism. If you are familiar with Lego sets, their firing mechanisms were actually a little on the odd side, and you would maybe launch a piece approximately this far. This has actually got some power behind it, so you place it in and you press down and you will see that it fires and could potentially smack you right in the face. A neat feature is the laser blaster can actually be positioned on top of this cannon. So it's double trouble for the Guardians. So it's a really neat piece. Try to slide everything into place here. There's Rocket. We've got Groot, who looks like he has a bellyache at the moment, and Nebula. So really cool little playset, and I'm again eager to see where this actually goes in the movie, because it got a few spoilers potentially here, but the Marvel movies are tremendously great and popular, so I'm sure we won't be disappointed. One other little thing I always like to look at when we open Lego sets and put them together are our extra pieces, and I actually slid these to the side because occasionally you get some interesting pieces that you can use. We have like a radio antenna, so one of the fun parts with Lego is you can build what you want, and we have a drawer full of these extra pieces. Of course, you're always going to have the little colored studs. They are nice and always give you extras of those, and some of these connecting pieces. We actually had an extra sword, so that will be helpful for a ninja or a turtle to hold on to at some point, and some of the little grates, as well as this little covering piece that can actually be used to connect pieces together and cover up these little joining pieces. So if you like our video, give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. Thanks.